Welcome to the second season of Let's Play AC Milan in Football Manager 2018. And last season definitely ended with a success, better than I would have dreamt of before the season started. That means we have a big responsibility now for the second one, and I mean, we're probably going to need to improve even further. I don't think we can overtake Juve yet, but we're going to try. But for that to happen, we need to solve the financial situation. Right now, I'm a little bit into June. A few of my players are away with their national teams, preparing for the World Cup and so on. But look at my newsfeed here. So many rumors of players of my club leaving, like Rodriguez set to move to City. Arsenal step up chase for Silva. And, well, issuing a hands-off warning for Soso. Soso set to remove for Real Madrid. United shows interest in Silva. Like, it just goes on. And again, Silva draws interest with United. Will I be able to keep anybody? And as you know, for my financial situation, it's complete garbage. We are broke. Currently this season, 72 mil in the Reds. And yeah, obviously we are failing the financial fair play. And we are in a crappy situation, basically. And if you take a look at the squad here, as you can see, quite a few players away with international teams. But other than that, like wanted. Oh, I didn't mean to click Italy. Wanted. 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 And maybe some more, but something like that. And with my current financial situation, I'm just waiting for the board to start selling my players. And it probably won't be anything to do that I can do about it. The question is, of course, how will things look in a few months? Have we survived? Have all my players gotten sold? And have we signed anybody? I mean, I told you in an earlier episode, I've been keeping track on some free transfers, but it doesn't matter that Ursula wants to join us, or that Fellaini wants to join us, and so on. We can't afford them. Even though they are free transfers, we can't afford them. So, yeah, we're going to have a very interesting summer coming up. But you know what, guys? I'm going to do most of the summer myself. Next time you see me, which means in a few seconds, but quite some more time will have passed, and it's probably, I don't know yet, but it's probably going to be time for the first real game of the season, and then we will know. I mean, have we gone bankrupt? What have happened? Well, let's see. Extra, extra, interrupting the preseason with some important news. Well, guess what? It looks like we are saved. We announced an official North American partnership with major financial service companies. The 1 year partnership worth €59 million. We are saved. Because all of a sudden, we also got our other sponsorships and things like that. And this happened. Income this month. Look at that. 110 million from sponsorships. So, yeah, I guess we are saved for now. This is beautiful news. But now, let's get on with the preseason again. And here we are. The preseason is over. The transfer window have closed. And it's time for the first league game of the season. And we got the craziest start of a season ever. Look at this schedule. We are starting with a derby away versus Inter. And then ASAP after that, we go against Juve. And everybody knows that Juve is dominating everything. And then ASAP after that, Man United in the Champions League. So, oh boy, are we in for a crazy start here. But before we get to this, let's take a look at the preseason. I mean, we played a bunch of friendlies. We won pretty easy. Then we got Man City in the Super Cup. We actually had a pretty good game, I think. It was really, really close. And then we lost away versus Bayern Munich in a friendly, and also another pretty good game. I mean, both Man City and Bayern Munich is a very good team, so I'm pleased with both of these results. And I mean, yeah. And then we had the draw for the Champions League, and we definitely got one of the toughest group here with Atletico Madrid, Man United, and then of course Rapid Wien as maybe the weaker one. And this could be a problem for us because it's going to be really, really hard for us to end up in top two. And our board actually requires, like, this their expectation of the season is that we should go through from the group stage. And if we don't manage to do that, they won't be happy with me. But yeah, seeing it already, like, this won't be easy. And there's definitely quite a few groups that I think would have been easier. And especially the first one here. Look at this with Club Brugge, Sporting, Slavia Prague, and Zenit. That would definitely have been a nicer group, but what can we do? We'll have to wait and see what happens, but it's going to be very tough. And considering the schedule, I mean, there's a risk of us starting the season with losing the 3 first games, and that would be such a bad start of the season. But it wouldn't be like surprisingly looking at the schedule. And during the preseason, of course, we done some signings and some sellings and so on. But first, let's talk about the finances, because the last thing you saw was we got that new sponsor deal that basically saved things. And after that sponsor deal, because you might remember that we were only going to get to keep 35% of the transfer revenue when we sold somebody. So after we got the transfer deal, I managed to talk the board up to giving us 50%. And then after the transfer window, because we are doing pretty well now when it comes to wage budget, we have this wage budget and we are spending lots less. So basically ASAP after the transfer window closed, they decided to increase it even further up to 75%. So now I'm hoping that maybe for the January transfer window, I can get it up to 100% if things go well. But of course, the major problem has been with the spendings. And I talked about this in an early episode, but we are spending over 9 million a month for paying repayments of loans and interest. That's by far our biggest thing that we are spending money on. But there's actually some really good news when it comes to this, because if you take a look at debts and loans, it's this bank loan that we are paying. We are paying over 8 mil a week for. But look at the remaining here. We will actually be done with this loan very, very soon. And I mean, last season we paid like 8.5 mil for it each month, the whole season. That had huge effect on our finances. But very, very soon it will be gone. Then the only thing we have left is this one. And yeah, it's going to have a crazy effect on our finances. We're going to go for paying like over 9 mil to paying like 1 mil a month. So the future looks bright for AC Milan, at least at the finance department. And other than that, of course, we have done some transfers. And we're going to start by looking at players we sold. And I basically had 2 goals with this. Because, I mean, we weren't going to keep that much money, so I wouldn't do any crazy sellings. But my main goal was try to like sell all the players that were on the way out. Because even if they were pretty good, their value would decline very quickly. And the other thing around, I wanted to get rid of players that, of course, we didn't have room for in our squad. And the big selling that this doesn't suit any of these was this one of Hakan. And actually with the close souls, we will most likely get all 40 mil, because there are add-ons that basically going to happen. So we are selling him for 40 mil. And I felt like he's a good player. Well, I felt 40 mil was definitely a fair deal, especially since his best position is a position where I very rarely use. Because I was using him here instead as the player to rotate with Sosa, and that's definitely, like, even if he's a good player, he's not great at that position. So we sold him for 40 mil, and then of course we needed a replacement, somebody else that could rotate with Sosa, and I brought Berardi. And Berardi is, of course, if you played Football Manager before, you know him. He isn't as good in this version as in previous, but he's definitely some quality here. And he's, of course, a natural in this position. And he was transfer listed. So the main reason I went for him was that he was transfer listed, because that meant I could get him pretty cheap. So we sold Hakan for 40 mil, and we replaced him with Berardi for 17 mil. So I felt like it was a good deal. We sold a good player, but we got another one that suits our formation better for a really good price. And another big selling was Baka. Baka, of course, was loaned out during the first season, and he's also like he's a quality player, but he's 31 years old, and we have got pretty tough rules when it comes to non-EU players in Italy. So I felt like, yeah, he would strengthen our team this season, but in the long run, I felt it was better to sell him. We got 20 mil for him. And next selling is this lad, and he was not like a good player, but he plays in a position where the competition for a spot is really, really hard, which meant that he will probably never make it. So yeah, I basically sold him because I have like 4 or 5 players that's higher priority than him in this position. And class souls with him also. And these class souls also made like they will most likely happen. So I'll get like 18 mil for him. So I felt like it was a decent one. Sold Niang 12 mil, and another player that like, yeah, it wouldn't happen. He's not an EU player, which means I would have problem to get room for him in our squad and so on. And basically the rest of the lads, like kind of same thing with a lot of them, that they were pretty good players, but either I didn't have room with them, or like Montolovio, like he's a really good player, but he's 33, and I needed to make room for my youngsters. And another player that I signed that I think is very interesting. First off, there are a few signings here with Borini and Kalanick. I mean, you remember they were with us last season, because when the game starts, they have a loan deal for 1 season. Then they have already like done the transfer. So when the loan deal is over, the transfer is already cleared. So I didn't sign them; it was done before the game started. But another interesting name is this guy, and young, very talented, good potential, and he plays here. So he's a natural here. So perfect, and he can play on both sides, which means if I have an injury on the right side, he can play there pretty good also. And he is injury prone, and normally, actually, the injury proneness seems to have gone away. It was I wasn't fully scouted when I signed him, and it said he was fairly injury prone, but it looks like he's gone away. That's beautiful. That's the case. But he was transfer listed so cheap, 8.5 mil. I felt like 8.5 mil was an offer too good to refuse. Kind of with Berardi, like transfer listed for that price in a position where I can use him and I can play on both sides. It made him a perfect match, so very happy with that one. And of course, we brought in the man, the myth, the legend, Fellaini as a free transfer. And the thing with him is, first off, it was a free transfer. Look at his wage. He's making barely nothing, 24k a week. And he only has a rotation status, which means he's going to be my real squad player. And he can play in all positions here. I will most likely use him here and here, kind of maybe retraining for this role. And I think usually I play with like advanced playmakers, deep lying playmakers, Masalas, so on. But when we're off against tougher away teams in the Champions League, I think it's going to be perfect to use him as a ball-winning midfielder when we need it, like when we can't be playing off. I mean, his physical attributes is insane. It just felt like we got him for free. We're barely paying him any wage at all. I think it was a really good signing for us. You probably want to pick up quite a few cards, but for free, you can't go wrong when you get somebody for free. I mean, we can sell them after a season and make like somewhere probably between 10 and 20 mil profit. other than him, is there anything else special here? I don't think so. All the other guys assigned was either youth players with potential, or they were old guys to act as tutors. And it's like a funny thing with this game. Like this lad, for example, he's 37, but he's 19 termination, a professional. So he's just going to help to tutor my youngsters. But yeah, I think enough talking about signings and pre-seasons and so on. As you can see, some players need to get numbers here. But it's been an interesting summer, and especially that I see the end of the financial struggle. When that loan is paid off and we can get up to 100%, that really gives us some great possibilities to improve our team in the future. It's going to make things so much better. But this is a derby. We start off with a derby. I think we need to go passionate from the start, and we are playing them away. So I think we're going to bring up the last time we were up against them, because we lost against them and it worked decently. Talking about our team as a whole, we haven't signed like, oh my god, this signing is going to change the team. He's a superstar, because you know, we didn't have that type of money. But basically everybody that we signed are pretty young, or a tutor, and we have quite a few. So since I've been selling off the older players, we have a pretty young team. We have youngsters in a lot of positions, and of course the youngsters we had last season keeps on developing, becoming better and better. Oh my god, that was really close there by Soso. But they keeps on becoming better and better, and the lads we sign now, like young talented players, that become better and better, and that's basically the way we are rolling for now, and the way the financials has set us up to play. Look at here, is Kalnick. I didn't mention it. We have like 2 players suspended for this game, and like 3 players or something like that injured from the preseason. So that has some effect, but most of the guys that would have started this game is fit for fight. So we are more or less using our strongest team. Especially in the midfield department, we have quite a few really talented ones, and hoping they can play more and more, and break into our first team squad more and more regular. And Inter's putting up some serious chances here. Kind of a bit worried. But a great example of that is, of course, Locatelli. Look at him, 20 AC, and he played a lot of games last season. And hopefully he can keep on developing even further, reach even longer. Yes, definitely have potential to become a world-class player in the future. Soso still young. I think he's still 24. And of course, Conte, he was out almost whole last season with an injury. But he's still young, and on the bench, I mean, Piayak that we signed, only 23. Berardi only 24. We have Barrow, needs to play more and more, looking better and better. I think we have a bright future ahead of us. We're definitely not ready to start challenging Juve for the title this season, I don't think. Unless Juve get like injury troubles and struggle and so on. But I really feel like with this youthful team, the team will basically become stronger and stronger each season, like no matter if you sign somebody or not. And also, as you can tell, we didn't sell anybody that we didn't want to sell. I thought it was in for a second. I stopped reading, but yeah, there were quite a few offers for quite a few of our players, like Soso and Bonaventura and a few others, Rogagnoli and so on. But we actually managed to keep them, and we also managed to make them stay happy. Because of course, when I turned down like a big deal for a big club, they were unhappy. But then I talked to them, and it actually worked. And pretty boring. I mean, there's been quite a few chances, but no goal during the first half. Gonna stay passionate. Talk about last game. A draw away versus Inter is not a bad result. It would be an okay start of the season, But considering the rest of the schedule with Juve and AC Milan coming up in the next 2 games, I mean, it's going to be so hard to win a single game here in the beginning. That a win now would be fantastically, not only for the fans because it's a derby, but because it might be quite some time before we see another win, and you know what that can do to morale and things like that. But right now, like, look at the ratings here. Oh my God, Bonaventura down to 6.3. It was actually, I think it was Real Madrid or PSG was bidding for him during the preseason, but I decided to keep him. But right now he's playing like garbage and showing that that might have been a mistake. And now, of course, we have quite a few options here. We want to go with Piaka or with Borini. And since this is a derby, I think I'm going to go with experience. Let's bring in Borini. He was a good player for us last season. He kind of performed better last season compared to his stats, because his stats was pretty much nothing special at all. But he did a really good season for us last season. Locatelli though, he's out. Let's bring in Barrow and bring him up as an advanced playmaker. And game on. Would be pretty boring if we started this season off with a goalless game. But as long as it's not into scoring, I'm okay with goalless. But we want to win, and maybe we can do something from here. It's also into the box, fix up. Berardi got a quick early chance here just after the sub, but kind of got out of the angle. Come on, guys. I don't like it when Inter had the ball. Don't like it at all. Oh my God, it's going to be a goal. Oh, Icardi hits the post. We got really, really, really lucky there. I was definitely certain it was going to be a goal. But yeah, Berardi hit the post. And that was a fantastic chance from him. And I kind of don't dare to go more attacking than this. But what we can do is actually going to do it like this. Because Kalank is playing like garbage. So we are going to bring in back on the game, but we're going to bring in Borini up on top and have Piaka as the inside forward. But yeah, like we are already attacking, but we're not going to like go crazy out, changing up the formation and so on. Because it's not like we are getting destroyed right now. Oh my God, there's some more. Here's Icardi again. Oh my God, look at this. We set them up to the goal. We set them up. Look at this. It's a really failed interception, which, oh my God. Take a look at replay here. We sets him up with a failed interception. We gets the assist here. Yeah, look at that. Biglia sets Eder up. And that's a nightmare. Now we have 10 minutes to create something. What can we do? What do you want to change up here? What's Borini's strongest point? Let's keep it as that. Let's bring up a Biglia. Maybe he can redeem himself. Maybe something like that-ish. Something like that-ish and that-ish. We're definitely going to go overloading. And we need to speed things up a lot. Oh my God, this is so bad. This is definitely not the start we wanted. And of course, to get another highlight ASAP. But here is Piaka for Borini. Borini is lonely though, guys. Needs some backup. And he's Sosa. Maybe he's that backup. Piaka. And damn it. I thought we were going to create something, but it looks like we might get hit with a counter-attack instead. Or maybe not. Where is this heading? Back and forth, back and forth. Piaka's really getting involved since he got subbed, but that was a really shitty pass. Where the hell is this one going? He's going the wrong direction because here's Icardi. And here is Eder. Oh, and a fantastic save by Donnarumma. Fantastic. Nothing would change. Nothing, nope. But yeah, come on, guys. Would be so devastating if they managed to score because of us failing. Because we got assist. It's also And here is Barrow, young Barrow, with assist from Soso. And Barrow was one of those young, talented lads we were talking about for the future. We're no longer going to be overloading, but we're going to stay attacking, and we're going to stay with our little more attacking formation. Because, I mean, we managed to score with this formation, so why not just keep it? But yeah, beautiful pass by Soso, and young Barrow makes no mistake at all. 4 minutes of extra time, but something going to happen before that. And look at it's also. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's a goal! It's a goal! It's a goal! It's also. And now we are going to park the bus. We are going to park every single bus in the country. We are going to really, really park every bus we can find. Jose Mourinho, this one is dedicated to you. You taught us everything we know about parking buses. Box to box, a little bit more defensive. I'm gonna bring you down as a deep lying, focusing on defense. And of course, we're gonna be defense. We're gonna go structured. And we're only gonna try to retain possession. We're definitely going to be wasting time. And oh my god. Now we just need to pray to Football Manager RNG gods that we are going to survive this, because this is a crazy comeback. This is fantastic. And of course we need to enjoy the replay here of the Soso goal. And Soso, I got a few offers for him during the summer from big clubs, but we managed to keep him. And is Conte with assist? And Conte is the fullback I was talking about before. He was injured almost the whole last season, which means he doesn't have like one of those new relationship things we can see in the tactic screens, like with lines between players. But maybe with him setting up Soso like that, I think we can see one of those lines coming up pretty soon if they keep on finding each other that way. And look at the clock. Come on, ref, blow the whistle. And that's a full-time whistle. And this is sensational. I was prepared to start crying. I was feeling like we're probably going to lose this one. But that was fantastic. I'm going to go passionate and tell them that. Oh my god, this is so very, very good. But that's also it for this, the first season, not the first season, but the first episode of the second season. We're off to a beautiful start, winning the Derby away. Such an important game, especially, I mean, look at the clock here. We scored in the 86th and then an extra time. This is pure beauty. But that's it for this episode. But take a look at the schedule. We have huge episodes coming up. We're going to be playing Juve. We're going to be playing Man United. We're going to be playing Atletico Madrid. I mean, you definitely don't want to miss the second season. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.